What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the MelieeRod channel. Today I have a very special guest. We have my cousin Memo.
How y'all doing?
Alright, so today we're going to be talking a little bit about his small business and dive into like his younger self. So we're going to start off with, what's your name, where you from, and what do you do for a living?
I will first and foremost, my name is born as Guillermo Diaz, also known as Memo. I am a CEO and founder of a small print shop company called Overspray Collection. I started off from the basement, then moved up indoors in a small little shack, and then we're still pretty much in the same thing. But yeah, it's been pretty successful. The first 5 years, it was booming. It skyrocketed. It went from 0 to 60 to 100 to 250, as a matter of fact. So it was pretty successful. But ever since we got hit with COVID, every business, every small business got affected, as everybody else did, and we took a shot. And ever since then, haven't been able to recover. But you know what? We're riding to the wheels for a lot. We're still, we're still printing, we're still working, and we're still moving forward. So, that's what it is. Yeah, for sure.
Before we get into the deeper questions,
all right,
let's talk a little bit about your side hustle. Of course, you mentioned already. I know you make customized socks, stickers, keychains, jerseys, signs, wallets, so many things that you could, think about. Can you tell us what is it that you do and provide?
So we do anything from, I say we because it's me and it's family owned. Stickers, whatever you mentioned. We do custom apparel, we do custom sneakers. We do from the smallest to the biggest. There's no limit. It's limitless here. But yeah, we do custom stickers, banners, custom socks, custom mugs, tumblers, you name it. There's something that you're interested in, just hit us up, send me a DM on Instagram, official Overspray Collection. We're there 24/7, so if there's anything that you're interested in now or the future, hit us up, let us know, or hit up my cousin here, and she'll handle the rest for me.
So the next question is, what inspired you to start Overspray Collection?
To be honest, this was one of my dreams, not only mine, but also my brother's Manny's dream. He was 16 at the time, I was 13, 12 at the time, and we were all playing sports. And numerous occasions we used to play with different teams on the street, and everybody needed custom apparel. So custom jerseys was number one. I always wore bandanas, obviously socks and stuff like that. So Manny was the artist. He was very artistic, and I said, hey man, one day I said, why don't you draw the stuff and the logos and for a custom business? We can start up our own. Obviously we didn't have resources or anything at the time, so, and I was the brains of the operation, so I said, hey, you're the artist, let me be the management under the umbrella, and then we'll go from there. So I always wanted to create. I've always wanted to sell something, and why not start off with our own either clothing brand or sports apparel kind of theme. And jerseys was easy, just a number, name in the back, and that was it. So that was the main focus, and that's how everything started.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's all. We went all in.
Yeah.
I mean, at 12, you just want to play. You want to grow up and have fun, with your peers and go from there. But for you to just analyze and start thinking about the future and not having anything, we're from the struggle, you know what I'm saying? But we'll get there. But I'm just saying, from having nothing to dream big and just sky's the limit, and having that opportunity that we didn't have the resources, but you know what, we had the passion, and that's all you need. Having that passion for you to start off anything. I mean, that's the formality that starts you to become or create an enterprise. And that's where we're at.
We're gonna go and dive into a little more about your younger self. I know you've mentioned to me that your father was not in the picture since you were a little kid. Can you tell us a little about how that was for you? What were some challenges you faced without a father?
So it's still a challenge for me. You know, I still struggle on a daily because of not having him. I have some memories, very timid, very short. I cannot remember almost anything, so I can't really speak on it. However, my dad was, I haven't had him for over 44 years now. I was 1.5, almost shy 1.5 years old when he was murdered out here in California. So I don't remember of any memories, to be honest. I was still a baby. It's difficult for me to talk about this, you know, portion. But I'm gonna be honest. I still battle not having him. You know, not having a father around is tough. But I'm gonna keep it real. It's been. I've been very humble, very blessed. I have children of my own, and one way or another, we're still here. We manage on a daily basis on how to overcome these obstacles. And not having him around made me the individual that I am today. My mom had 3 jobs growing up, and she was never home. She gave us money for us to feed ourselves. So talking about that struggle is what made me a fucking beast, a fucking lion. Excuse for my language, but I just want the viewers to understand that it's not easy. It was never easy, and it's still not easy. But that gave me the hunger to never stop. Whatever the cost, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for my family and for myself to succeed. So that's the drive that I have, and that nobody can take that away from you, or anybody, period. So that's what it is.
You basically like did what you could to make it into, it was like a negative experience into a positive, and still
absolutely. So everything, you know, again, it was a struggle from scratch for me, for my mom. She raised 6 of us on her own, and you think about it, you know, right now parents are struggling with 1, 2 kids, and it's like, man, that's, you guys have no idea where, you know, where in my case, what my mom did for us. You know, we slept under, we didn't have a couch, we didn't have a bed, we slept under a table, and just like little, we're like little kittens under on the same litter, everybody under the table. And it's like growing up and to see what my kids, our kids have nowadays, tablets, iPads, and all this. We didn't have any of that, you know. So we kind of managed. We created our own little toys. We did whatever we had to do to survive, and that's survival. A lot of these kids nowadays, or parents, don't have that source of ability. I don't say ability. Well, they don't have that. Should I say courage, or even the mentality? That's what I want to say. Mentality to even overcome these obstacles, and we did it. And we're still here.
Alright, so the next question is, did anyone take that role of being a father figure? Like an uncle, an older brother, or anyone you can think of? And what were some things that you learned from them?
Absolutely. I had, obviously, you know, I was always looking for that father figure. I didn't have a father of my own, so it was hard for me to, you know, just adapt or kind of receive anybody from the outside. I did have my siblings, my 2 older brothers. However, Hera is my older sibling. He was more like a little brother to me. Now the roles have changed, obviously, but Manny was some sort of a father figure to me. He was always there backing me up in whatever situation that arose. But he was always supportive. Hera was always in his own thing with cars and tuning and stuff like that. He really almost never got involved, but we were always together, always united. But I do want to say, and for the record, my uncle Antonio Juan Guzman, he's always been a father figure to me. He took me in while him and my Theo were dating, and I was always the the chaperone. So wherever they went, I was always there, you know. So, you know, they took me in, go to ball games, go to the movies. He took me to the park, and they didn't have any kids at the time, so I was like their own, and it just felt natural.
Yeah.
And having that bond with him, just I think that was one of the greatest experience growing up. And to this day, I still call him dad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how his kids feel, my cousins feel about it. I'm sure there's some sort of I don't know, but regardless, that you're never gonna take that title away from their kids, right?
Exactly.
But why not share?
Yeah.
Why not share his love and compassion and everything? But he gets emotional, and, you know, we talk on numerous occasions and parties and stuff. He gets emotional, starts crying. I said, nah, man, it's I'm the individual today that this is kind of basically, you have impacted my life so much that I have no way to thank you.
Yeah.
But the way I'm gonna thank you is how I'm gonna strive and build that empire, that foundation that
Right.
you gave me. It gave me also courage and everything for me to continue to build and be successful, and obviously be the man that I am today. I mean, I am not perfect. With these little things that he did for me, kind of watched them treat his kids and treated me, and I kind of follow his path and footsteps, and you know, that's where I am right now. I still thank him every single day. Every time that I see him, I thank him for his love and affection and shit, because I mean, without that, I don't know if I would be here today. So thank you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes, I second that, because he like when my dad wasn't there, like he was always there, you know. When my aunt would always take care of me, like I would always remember that he's the one that taught me to never put your elbows on the table when you're eating. You know,
he was very well
like,
structured.
yeah, like no, that's not like etiquette. Like you have to be very nice and all that stuff. And then he would always make me and Jose like write a whole book. Like he would make you like, okay, you got to make sure that your writing is nice and clean and all that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Like,
so he was very
punctual.
well mannered, and to add an extra note on that, when I was doing my homework when I was a kid, he had a belt strapped to the table.
Oh,
I said,
damn.
hey man, and that was kind of like my fear, but he, you know, he never used it on me, to be honest, and I think that was kind of like a fear factor for me. That kind of it taught me a lesson to, you know, hey, you know, follow his lead, follow his command, and I did whatever he said, and I did it. Yeah. I graduated from high school. I graduated with honors, and thanks to him, I mean, and obviously my mom, you know, there's no ifs or buts, but I want to share my gratitude on this channel that he had a great impact in my life, and still. So you know, if you're watching, I want to just big thanks to you. You know who you are, so I'm gonna come see you soon.
All right, so the next question is, when you were younger, or even now at your age, did you ever get jealous of friends or family members who still have their dads, like their fathers, and have a good relationship with their fathers? And if so, how?
Always, every single day. It's kind of like having a brand new puppy around, and just seeing, you know, how they, you know, they're enjoying themselves. But anyway, I'm just that little simple example. Just it drove me nuts and it drove me crazy. However, when I was in elementary school, all of my friends were all like, they're always, and I'm telling you, this is 99.9% of the time. My dad is F my dad and screw my dad, and he's always picking on me, always being behind my back. I said, man, be grateful. Be grateful for what you have. Now, I would rather have that than nothing at all. And I always gave him that fact. I said, dude, just be happy, be blessed that you have a father. I don't have one, so I'm kind of struggling, you know, and just be lovable, reach out to him, be a friend first, and just kind of give him. I didn't know how to give them advice, but I would just give them little handouts here and there. I said, man, you're blessed and you don't know it yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was always jealous. I was always, you know, my cousins, all of my cousins had their dads, and I was always, and I'm gonna be honest, I was always looking for that father figure, man, and like who is gonna, you know, help me out or help us out to you know, to the promised land. And that was always my thing. Like, I didn't have nobody to hold my hand and take me to, you know, show me manhood, show me to the restroom, or take me to the park, but this man, you know, but my uncle. And not having that, Melissa, it's tough, man. It's tough because I learned everything from the streets. And for you to learn everything from the streets, it's not always good.
Right.
You know, you learn the good, you learn the bad, and sometimes you want to stay mutual in between. But again, it was all survival. And I know I'm going a different direction, but I just want to make it clear that there's no recovery from that. Not having that your pops or your father figure. I mean, father figure it can never replace your real pops, you know. But I think it's important for any children growing up. I have a son of my own, and it's kind of tough because, you know, he's been on and off my life, and I don't have him with me right now today. But again, that's on another topic. But yeah, it's tough. It's hard to come back for not having that pops, you know. So again, I tell you, I struggle every day. Sometimes, you know, every birthday, every holiday, every day, man, just think of him. And shit, even now it's like, damn. But shout out to all the fathers, man, that step up and you know, take care of the families, man, because that's what I'm doing right now. So
all right, so next question.
Shoot.
Now that you're a father yourself, do you think you were ready to be a father to your kids? And how has your experience been raising kids of your own and not having an example of a father figure?
So it was never easy. It's still not easy. You know, being a father doesn't come, you know, with a manual. You don't have instructions on how to lead, how to set examples, how to, you know, treat them, how to feed them, how to take care of them, especially. And yeah, it's definitely challenging. It still is, you know. There's different stages of you know, parenthood, and obviously, you know, I had my son as I was maybe, I think I want to say 23, 24, and I was still a kid myself. It's still a struggle, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I watched movies and read books on how to, you know, take care or how to be that father figure. I didn't have one, so I definitely needed all the necessary knowledge or information out there. I would find a source or a you know, a resource on how to, you know, even nowadays kids learning how to do things, they go to YouTube. So we didn't have YouTube back then, but, you know, just going online and going to the library and reading books and searching all these things, and it's like nobody knows that about me. I didn't know how to, you know, be a parent. Maybe I still don't know how, but I learned how to adapt watching, you know, my uncles and aunts and my mom especially. She took care of 6 of us, having 3 different jobs, was never home. She never gave us the love. She never said I love you, because obviously she didn't get it at home as a parent. So, you know, it kind of, I wanted to change, and I'm not complaining. My mom was great. She gave us everything. But I just want to touch that topic that, you know, now that I didn't have that growing up, I give that to my children, to my kids. And whether they see it or not, I try to emphasize that on a daily basis so they know that they're being cared for. Number one, we work so hard for them to have everything. Because we didn't have anything growing up. Right. We didn't have toys. We hardly had clothes. We had 2 pairs of 2 pairs of shoes. You know, one was Monday through Friday. The second pair was for church, for Sundays, church Sundays. Why I'm saying that is because my kids, they gotta be grateful. They gotta be grateful for what they have. They have everything, and growing up and not having nothing, and just kind of like, just picture the kids in Somalia right now, or Africa. They don't have any clothes. They kind of have to go out there and kill an animal to wear their skin. Yeah. And that's kind of like, know that there's people that are struggling more than you are right now or today.
I think what I've learned mostly is like trying to change how you were raised, right? Sometimes it could be negative, sometimes it could be positive. Something that I've learned is like, even if you didn't get the I love you from your parents, it's important to do it to your future kids.
Sure.
Regardless of whatever you went through, it's always important to turn it into a positive. Making sure that your future is
of
on
course.
A good one, so.
And like I'm telling you, I mean, we didn't have it at home. So where, as a young kid, where are you gonna get it? Mm-hmm. You're not gonna get it in school. Right. In school, you're gonna get a variety of balances in school. But I learned, like I said, I learned everything on the streets. Mm-hmm. The homies in the block show me love. And again, luckily, and I thank God that I didn't end up in the wrong side of the tracks, because I wouldn't be here today.
Right.
I had different positive influences in my life, and that's what turned me into the positive side of the tracks, and I thank God for that.
Right.
I'm still here, and everybody growing up, nobody wanted us to be successful. We were young kids, we were young punks, just trying to have a good time, and honestly, we didn't have a great source of positive impact during that time.
Right.
We lived in between 3 rival gangs.
Right.
We're in between, and we were always in between fights and gun fights and violence. I saw all of that, and to be honest, that's why I kind of moved out of that scene, out of that scenery. I don't want to raise my kids in a city where bloodbath was on a daily. Like, I see dead bodies just walking across the street, and it's like, you don't want to, having your own kids. I mean, I'm sure I'm dealing with a lot of, I'm still dealing with a lot of trauma, childhood trauma now. But I learned how to, kind of retain that and carcass it into just a little jar, and not expose it to my kids or any of my loved ones, because I've been through it. But luckily, like I said, I had positive impacts in my life that changed my life for good. I still have that that opportunity tell this story, and hopefully impact some other kids out there that are going through the struggle. So I just wanted to touch on that, and hopefully they see value in the conversation that we're having today. Right. So I mean, don't give up, and keep on striving.
So the next question that I have for you is, your mom raised you and your siblings as a single mother without help of a partner most of the time. Was there any people that helped your mom raise you all? Anyone you can think of?
Oh man, we had all the help that we can get. All my tias, your mom, all my tias, my tia Marta, my tia Silvia, my tia Maria, everybody took turns on watching us. And I'm gonna be honest, nobody ever wanted to watch us 3 because we were just we were comical. We were all over the place. We were not. Yeah, pretty much. And we couldn't stay still. We were always so full of energy, but all positive vibes. But we were just we couldn't just be complacent. Even when we were kids, I mean, just having 3 toddlers, just we. I remember, she, rest in peace, her soul. Her name is Doña Maria. Man, I wish she was still here to see us fully grown. But we would go to her house, and we would have like a large, those wooden TV stands. And when she would go to the restroom, she would come out. I would be like King Kong, like climbing that thing. And I was always like full of energy. We all were. But I'm just saying, just to keep you so you can fully understand where we as kids, I mean, we had all the support system, but we were just too crazy. We were almost unstoppable. But thank God that for the family members that stepped in, and my tios were always there, especially your mom. Like, always gave us everything, love. They gave us food, and positive vibes, and I think that's how I've always wanted to have that big as a family. A lot of siblings and cousins. I mean, we have like about 60,000 cousins right now, and it's like, man, it never stops. But we're a big, huge family, and I wish we were a little bit more connected. I know we're all scattered around the states, but hopefully we can all rejoice and regroup, and just family functions. I get to see everybody, but we got to do that more. I got to give kudos to all my tios out there, man, and I think they were part of the struggle too, because I want to touch base on how my mom took care of all her siblings. And my mom had a family of 10, and my mom was the oldest of the females, and she had, at an early age, they lost her mom at a young age, and my mom took charge. She would have to feed all her siblings. Right. They had no jobs. Yeah. At 12 years old, for you to step in and take care of your family, it's tough. So my mom was definitely a survivor. She knew on how to step in and take charge, and I think I have that in my DNA. I said, man, that little lady, I don't know how she did it, but she did it.
Still going, man.
She's still going, man. So I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything. And this is for you.
I have the last question for you.
Sure.
Now, what are some tips or wise words you could give boys and grown men who don't have a father in their life?
Man, again, I'm still learning myself, and I wouldn't know how to answer that, but I'm gonna answer anyway. Just be resourceful, and what I mean is there's many. I wish I had these resources growing up, but there's a lot of things out there. Again, if you want to get into technical stuff, I've and let me, on a side note, I didn't have the same resources that everybody has today. How I learned stuff around the house is, I grabbed my computer and I taught myself on how to create, how to make stuff. I mean, obviously I'm book smart and street smart, but at the same time, I kind of took some time to, educate myself, because if I didn't learn it in the classroom, or if I didn't learn it out there on the street, now obviously in the street you're not going to learn everything at 100%. So I wasn't much of a reader back then. But I that's one thing I'm gonna emphasize on. Grab a book and educate your mind. The most powerful muscle in your brain, in your body, is your brain. So the more you know, the more you have opportunity, and opportunity is everything. So never close that book. There's a lot of podcasts right now that if you're driving, and that's what I do. So nowadays, I just put on the podcast and whatever. So I'm into, facility management, and obviously that's been great. I think I've been on 3 books right now, from driving, back to work, back home, and that kind of, it just gives you some knowledge, some basic knowledge and fundamentals on whatever you're working on, craftsmanship, on, whatever you want to learn. I mean, you can find it now available. I wish I had a little more, but again, this is raw footage. This is not a story. This is my story. So I hope that everybody had the time and the opportunity to view this. So give it a like, subscribe to the channel ASAP, and I think we're gonna close it out like that. So thank you all.
Is there any last words you would want to say?
Well, I want to thank you for everything. Give me a hug. Man.
Thank you for being a guest in my channel.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to thank my family and everybody. I wish my dad was here for him to see me the way we doing things, and I know he's up there, watching us. So, big shout out to you. And I'm gonna see you soon. That's a definite. So thank you all. Thank you, and God bless. Stay true.
Period.
Boom.
All right. thank you so much again for watching, and thank you, Memo, once again
for
for
sure.
everything.
Thanks for having me. No doubt.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and yeah, make sure you watch, comment, subscribe, everything.
Do it
right now.
for sure.
All right,
for sure.
much love, all right?
Yeah, peace.